Illumination Studios, Manhattan. The backstage hallway echoed with the sharp, determined steps of Caroline Leavitt. In her grip was a simple leather portfolio, its contents anything but. Beyond the curtain, the packed audience of National Dialogue buzzed with energy. This wasn't just another talk show taping. It felt like a political trial. In the green room, Carolyn watched a monitor showing Trevor Noah laughing casually with host Jack Winters. Trevor's smile was polished, but there was a flicker in his eyes, a twinge of unease. He knew this appearance was different. The social media storm brewing around Leavitt's accusations had turned what was supposed to be a clever, comfortable interview into a confrontation. They're ready. Produce it. That's the I mean, Carolyn exhaled, squared her shoulders, and stepped into the lights. The audience erupted into a mix of applause and murmurs as she emerged on stage. Trevor stood up with a practiced smile and extended his hand. Caroline, welcome. Thank you, she said, shaking it briefly before sitting. Jack Winters leaned toward the camera with his signature gravitas. Tonight's episode of National Dialogue is more than a conversation. It's a collision between satire and substance. Caroline Leavitt, you say you have evidence that could change the way we view Trevor Noah. Let's begin. Caroline sat straight, her voice steady. Trevor Noah is not just a comedian. He is a manipulator, using humor as a smokescreen to push ideological narratives. And if he thinks I came here empty-handed, then he doesn't know what New Hampshire women are capable of. The crowd rumbled. Trevor chuckled, leaning back in his seat. Caroline, is this a testimony or an audition for a new political drama on Fox? There was laughter, but Caroline didn't flinch. Jack, she continued, eyes locked on Noah. The Daily Show became less about satire and more about targeted propaganda, crafted sketches designed to smear President Trump week after week. That's a bold claim, Winters interjected. Do you have proof? Carolyn pulled a folder from her portfolio and flipped it open. I have records showing that over the span of 3 years, Trevor Noah received $2.5 million from a San Francisco-based nonprofit, heavily funded by anti-Trump billionaires. The purpose? Produce anti-Trump comedy segments to influence public opinion and boost ratings. The room gasped. Phones lifted to record. Trevor leaned forward. Are you seriously accusing me of being a political operative? He said, voice still casual but with a sharper edge. I'm paid by Comedy Central, not billionaires. Let me read this, she said, holding up an email. From your executive producer, let's increase Trump-focused content to retain young audiences. Ratings spike when he's the punchline. That's called strategy, not conspiracy, Trevor fired back. You think Trump never discussed optics in a meeting? I think you crossed the line from entertainer to propagandist, Carolyn said. And I have more, including video footage of you admitting it. Gasps filled the air. Jack leaned forward. Are you prepared to show that footage? Not yet. First, I want to hear from Trevor. Because if he calls this slander, he should explain why he's never publicly debated anyone since leaving The Daily Show. Trevor's eyes narrowed. I don't debate people who bring fiction to a fact fight. If you had something real, you'd play it. Carolyn's voice remained even. Be careful, Trevor. The truth isn't something you can laugh off. Jack looked between them, then to the camera. We'll take a brief break, but when we return, Caroline Leavitt says she will release never-before-seen footage that could challenge Trevor Noah's entire media legacy. Stay tuned. As the lights dimmed and commercial music began, the studio was electric. The studio returned from break with a pulse. The audience leaned forward in their seats, breath shallow, phones ready. Jack Winters sat upright, eyes gleaming. Caroline, he said, you've brought this moment to a boil. Do you have the video? She nodded. A technician loaded the clip onto the main monitor. Before we play it, she said, understand this. It's taken from behind the scenes at The Daily Show. It's Trevor Noah talking to producers, unaware the mic is live. Trevor scoffed. Illegally obtained and edited, no doubt. Play it, she said. The screen flickered to life. Trevor's face appeared, leaning against a desk, talking casually. We need to keep hammering Trump. Even if it's weak material, ratings dip when we go soft. Just keep him in the crosshairs. That's the play. There was stunned silence, then chaos. Some audience members applauded, others booed. A man in the back shouted, "That's not comedy, that's propaganda." Trevor's face flushed. That clip is cut. It doesn't show the full context. We were discussing media trends. Spin it however you want, Carolyn said. But you admitted it. You exploited your platform not to entertain, but to divide. Trevor stood up. I've had enough. You came here not with truth, but with a narrative. I'm done playing in your theater. He pulled off his mic and dropped it onto the desk. Gasps echoed. You're walking away? Carolyn asked, almost softly. I'm walking away from a farce, he said. Let your audience decide. He left the set. Phones recorded every second. Online, within minutes, the footage went viral. Hashtag Trevor walks out. Leavitt exposes Noah. MSNBC called it a smear job. Fox News ran it on loop with celebratory banners. Backstage, Jack Winters turned to Caroline. Do you want to say anything before we close? She looked straight into the camera. Tonight wasn't about scoring points. It was about accountability. Trevor had a chance to respond. He walked away. I'm still here. And so is the truth. The camera zoomed in, applause thundered, and the episode faded out. Trevor sat alone in his Manhattan apartment. Outside, New York shimmered with late-night noise. Inside, his phone buzzed incessantly. Mentions, texts, emails, messages from colleagues. You okay? You were ambushed. You need to respond. He opened a browser, saw the clip, the trending hashtags, the divided takes, a headline. Noah walks out, Leavitt dominates. But he didn't flinch. He closed the laptop, scribbled in his notebook. New show, no scripts, just honesty. At the same hour, Caroline stood at her window in Capitol Hill. Her husband, Nicholas, handed her a cup of tea. On the TV, anchors debated whether she had gone too far. You made your case, Nicholas said. She smiled faintly. The truth always feels too far when you're not ready for it. Next morning, Carolyn held a brief press conference. What happened last night wasn't about me. It was about challenging a culture that disguises political attacks as comedy. I support President Trump, yes, but I also support transparency. Let this be the beginning. Critics accused her of political theater. Supporters called her a patriot. Her following exploded overnight. Comedy Central released a statement. Trevor Noah has stepped away to focus on future creative projects. And in the comment sections, battle lines hardened. But for one night, America had watched something raw, unscripted, and undeniably real. The question that lingered wasn't who won, it was who still had the courage to stay.